Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the Fur Eel Pro 2. Now, is it the Fur Eel or is it the Fur Eel? We will for sure find out. So this goes on the end of your little attachment. You can get different attachments for it, which you go on the end. And this has basically been designed to remove dog hair out of carpets and textiles. So this is going to be a little bit of a test today to see how this works. But I think this could replace the crevice tool, to be honest with you, because I think this goes on the end of your tool quite nicely. You can hold it quite easily for a pencil, so we're going to be interested to see how we can test that out. But what I want to be using today in this video is I've got behind me an Audi TT, and that has got a fabric roof, and it's been protected with G-Technic fabric. And so one of the things with fabric protection when you've got it on a roof, you don't want to be overplaying with surfactants when it comes to removing dirt and grime off these roofs, because you're going to basically downgrade and prematurely age the protection. So one thing I like to do is use lint rollers, crevice tools, hoovers, all that sort of stuff to try and get rid of the dust. Now this is on a maintenance protection plan which comes out every 6 weeks, and so it does stay under trees, so there is a lot of dirt and dust on it. And so we're going to find out today whether this has got the minerals to basically take out some of this dirt and dust and help me get this a little cleaner. Now, because there are some stuff that's baked into it, we might have to use a little bit of surfactants. But let's just see if you guys at home, if you're consumers, would actually prefer this to maybe do more of a weekly basis to hoover your roofs on your vehicles if they are kept outside. So let's get into this video and find out if the Fur Eel or the Fur Eel can do the job. So what's my first thoughts of using this? Well, so far I really like the ergonomics. It works really, really well, it attaches nicely, and it's not too cumbersome and hurting my wrist, which is perfect. The second part I like about this is that it's rubber on fabric. So I know that this isn't going to lift up the pile, which is great, because I know a lot of people like to use drill brushes, different types of brushes to really get into these areas, and you can end up with bobbling on these fabric roofs. And these are supposed to last a really, really long time. And so that's one of the things that I feel like as a detailer, I can now be a bit more aggressive, knowing that I'm not going to pick up the pile. And so the next job is, how's this going to work on mats? So let's find out what my final thoughts are, positive and negative. And so let's start with the negatives. This is absolutely awful. I'm joking, I'm joking, listen. It's a really good tool, I really like it, but it's got its little flaws, and that is, the great thing for me, I've got the Cransel little tool adapter, so when I stick it in there, it works an absolute treat. And so while this is rubberized, it fits in perfectly and actually molds to the size of it. But I have used a different couple of plastic attachments to try and get it to fit. It just is a little clunky, and so there might be an attachment tool, which I know I spoke to John and reached out to John about this, and he does say there's an attachment for this, so that's going to be really helpful. So that's my negative. The other negative is, if you're used to using a crevice tool, what'll happen is you'll find that slides across the carpet quite easy. So if you've got a certain type of carpets, you might find this quite hard work if you're doing like 3 or 4 or 5 cars a day. You might find that quite hard work on thicker carpets. But what I will say is, on the flip side to that, is that it actually gets into the dust and the dirt a little bit better than the crevice tool would. A crevice tool just tends to slide over the top of the surface, whereas this, with its little angry teeth on it, gets into those areas, pops it up. And if you combine this with a drill brush and certain carpets, you're definitely going to find that a lot better. I would love to know if I could actually get this attachment to fit to my Tornador rotor door, which is the actual one that blows the air and sucks at the same time.
Hey detailers, have you got a Tornador minigun, or any air gun for that matter? Well, check out the new Furnado. Just spin it on and put your Fur Eel right on the end of that tool. Now you can experience the amazing synergistic effect of your air tool with the Fur Eel all at the same time. First, let's make a nasty mess for us to clean up. Of course, the first step should always be your Fur Eel hooked to your vacuum to suck all that debris out of the way. But we understand some carpets just don't want to let go of that debris. So take that Fur Eel off your vacuum and slide it onto the Furnado. The polymeric silicone bristles of the Fur Eel, combined with the air, will easily remove anything left behind. And the magic doesn't stop there. You can even grab your favorite all-purpose cleaner or shampoo and scrub that area with the Furnado and watch as the air and the Fur Eel combine to leave that area completely clean and almost completely dry, blowing out sand and debris in the process. And if that's not enough to impress you, you can even use this tool to clean out foam pads and microfiber pads, leaving them squeaky clean and mostly dry.
That would be a bloody game changer, but we haven't tested it yet on whether it's going to work on dog hair and stuff. And so once I find a car with a hell of a lot of dog hair in it, which I might end up stroking my pug to death until he molts every single hair in the car so I can hoover it up. But you need to have one that's been like from a dog walker and stuff. So I'm going to reach out to a few people. But for the price of this, I think it's one of those ones you've got to have in your arsenal. I think, like I said, are you going to use it all the time? Probably not. But I think it's one of those things you've got to have in your detailing kit. I think it definitely benefits people who've got dogs. I definitely benefit for mobile detailers and people who valet all the time. I think it's going to be one of those things that on certain types of different carpets, on different models of car, you're going to have those issues. And so for me, the pro side of it is what I loved on the roof here, really, really good. I liked how it works on the mats to pull out some of the dust. So there are some really pros. Like any tool, there's pros and cons, but that's been a review of the Fur Eel. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. It'd be interesting to know what you think. I will leave a price or a pin. I will leave a pin comment with the price. I'm not sure the exact price at the moment, but I'll pin that comment so you guys can check it out. And I'll also leave a link. So if you comment the word Fur Eel or fur, or just leave any comment, I'll send you a link to this where you can buy this for Clean and Shiny. I'll be Johnny Shield Detailing, and if you swipe right, you'll see the next video coming out very, very soon. See you later.